Well, hello, beautiful people. It's your girl Shy-Bivia, and welcome back to my channel. You guys, I literally feel like I'm on a roll. Yesterday, I just did a video in regards to how you can furnish your Airbnb or your short-term rental with only $1,000. Okay, less than $1,000. If you have not seen that video as yet, be sure to go check that out. I'll link that in the description below. Okay, but without any further ado, in today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you guys how you can maximize on your bookings, okay? Maximize on those earnings, all right, with Airbnb or even any other short-term rental platform that you use or that you desire to use, okay? So if you want to know more about this, be sure to keep watching because I also have a special bonus for you guys. Okay, you guys, so first things first, as simple as this sound, the first thing that you want to do, okay, in order to maximize your bookings is have the right pricing, okay? So you want to go ahead and do your market research, okay? Feel free to go on Airbnb itself or places like Your DNA to kind of have an idea of like what the pricing for that area is going for, okay? Do your research. You don't want to have a crazy price, okay, based on similar homes or units in the area. So for example, if 3 bedrooms in the area is going for, let's say, $200 a night, the average 3 bedroom, you don't want to go ahead and have your listing for $600 a night unless you have a special type of listing. Maybe it is like a themed Airbnb. I spoke about this in my last video yesterday. So if you have like a themed Airbnb, a Barbie doll Airbnb, whatever it is, people will pay a premium dollar for those. But if it's just a standard Airbnb, you know, very similar, you don't want to charge too much because you won't get any bookings, okay? And you don't want to underprice your listing as well. Now, in addition to doing your own market research, I'm actually going to share with you guys a little secret, okay, in regards to getting the ideal pricing for your listing, okay? I strongly suggest using a smart pricing tool, okay? And when I say a smart pricing tool, I'm talking about outside of Airbnb, you guys, if you're going to be using the Airbnb platform. And the reason why I say this is because Airbnb, for some reason, they tend to either underprice your listing. Their smart pricing tool is not ideal, okay? You're gonna lose a lot of money, all right? Let me just throw that out there. So you don't wanna use Airbnb's smart pricing tool. There are other smart pricing tools that you can use out there. I think one time I signed up for Wheelhouse or something like that, but I didn't actually really use it. Now I use PriceLab. I strongly suggest using PriceLab. And I'll tell you this, the first time I started using PriceLab, I realized how much money we were actually losing, okay? We were underpriced, okay? Our listing was really underpriced, and even with the smart pricing tool, with increasing our nightly rate, we were still getting bookings back to back. And so I trust the pricing tool to this day because we're over 90% booked. Like some months, there's literally no days that is open, okay? I can tell you that. Or maybe like one or two, because of we call it an orphan night. We don't do one night stays, so it has to be more than one night. I also suggest that you do that. I mean, when you're just starting out, to get those reviews real quick and everything, you can do your one nights, but we don't do one night stays. But anyway, to show you, you know, we're always being booked. And like I said, the prices that we have or that the smart pricing tool suggests, it's typically higher than even what Airbnb is suggesting, okay? So I strongly suggest using a smart pricing tool. I will link it in the description below. I do have a referral code where you'll be able to get $10 off, okay, once you sign up. And I believe they give you like a 30-day trial. So that's really, really, really great. And you'll see the difference. You may use it and you'll notice that, oh my goodness, you know, I was losing so much money. So I strongly suggest a smart pricing tool. And the really cool thing about this is that it syncs. Okay, it syncs with like Airbnb, I believe VRBO and other like short-term rental platforms. Okay, and the really amazing thing with this, it being synced, you don't have to manually go in and change dates. You can, if you really want to, you can still send your special offers to your guests and stuff like that, but you physically do not have to change dates. So when we just started this business, I was like manually putting in prices or putting in nightly rates and stuff like that, right? So I would go in like, oh, it's Labor Day coming up, so let's do this amount, or it's the weekend, so let's do this amount. And I was just like guessing, right? But with the smart pricing tool, it really showed me that, hey, you know, you're throwing money away, you know, you're leaving money on the table. And it was able to smartly price my listing, okay? So I don't have to go in and change anything or do anything, and still getting bookings, okay? So definitely strongly suggest that. It will definitely change your life. You don't need to be losing out on any money. In addition to that, also what it does is it basically does the research for you. So it looks out for the competitions, right, around. And also, like, for example, if there's a game happening that weekend or that day or something, or if there's a high amount of people who are looking to book within that area on a specific date, what it does is, again, it automatically changes the price for you. And it is so good because you may not know what's happening in the area, especially if you plan to be the type of host that has Airbnbs in different locations, like miles away, like in different states or different countries or whatever. Like we have one in South Jersey, we're all the way here in Texas. We don't know, you know, about everything that's happening in the area, but with the smart pricing tool, it lets you know what's happening and if there's a high demand for those dates, and it automatically increases price, okay? So that way you don't have to worry about that. Okay, now in addition to having the right pricing, okay, you want your listing to stand out. So you can have the right pricing all day, but if your listing is not popping out to, you know, people who are scrolling, looking for somewhere, your place is still not gonna get booked. So you need to have an attractive listing, okay? So the second thing that I strongly recommend is to get a professional photographer, okay? And when I say professional photographer, I'm not just talking about any photographer. I'm not talking about a photographer that specializes in portraits or stuff like that. I'm talking about a real estate photographer, okay? The reason why you want to go with a real estate photographer, for one, their turnaround time is quick. You know, we don't have time to wait around. We don't have time to wait 7 days to get back the edits. We don't have time for that, okay? And they understand the real estate market. They understand that the turnaround time needs to be quick. If somebody's trying to sell a house, you know, whatever, they understand that the turnaround time. In addition to that, they know the angles, okay? You can use your iPhone all day. Your iPhone, your Samsung, your Android, whatever you want to use. You can use that all day. Yes, I'm sure. But there's a difference with actually having a real estate photographer take those photos, because they know the angles, they know how to make a room look bigger. They're just really great at edits, okay? That's their specialty. That's what they specialize in. And you just have to trust that, okay? I mean, there's Instagram. You can go on Instagram and see their work to see how great they are, or, you know, just by a referral or something. But you don't want to cheap out and do it yourself. It's not worth it. Don't cheap out and do it on your iPhone. You technically can. You technically can do that if you want to, if you're really good at editing, if you are really good at getting the angles and stuff like that. But if you're really trying to make this an actual business and you want to stand out, you want your listing to be professional, clean, and all of that, invest in a photographer. Their prices range, okay, but the typical real estate photographer will charge you anything between like $125 to maybe like $180 something. Again, it really all depends on how big the places, the spaces, how long it's going to take, but it's an average of about $150. And that's not bad. And you'll find that it's gonna be worth it. It's gonna be worth it when you hire a professional photographer. They're going to ensure that the listing looks great. They're going to make the colors pop. I have a photographer that he's so good. If you want me to give you his contact information, let me know. He travels. His camera has traveled as far as Morocco. Shout out to Chris Kellyman, okay? Shout out to you. If you want me to give you his contact information, I can link it below, or I can, I'll give the information to you. He travels, okay? I definitely recommend him. He was so good. He came 8 a.m. and we got the images back before midnight, okay? And he was able to create sunset. He was able to create fire in our fireplace. Oh my gosh, he is just so amazing. So definitely hire a professional photographer. In addition to that, you can have great photos, but you also have to know, I'm kind of squeezing in here. I didn't really plan on sharing that, but I just thought of something that in addition to having great photos, you have to have the right cover photo. Boom. So all your photos may be great, but you have to have the right cover photo that actually stands out, okay? Do you have a fabulous kitchen? Okay, do you have stainless steel, a big island, an open concept kitchen? Whatever that makes your place unique, you want to sell that feature. So that is the image that you want to use for your cover photo. What is it that you would want your potential guest to see when they first scroll? Okay, it has to be a boom. You don't want a picture of a nightstand or something crazy like that, you want a wow factor picture. So that's another tip, to have people stop their scroll and go to your listing. Now, the third thing that you want to do to maximize your bookings, to get more bookings, is to have a standout listing name. Okay, you want the name of your listing to stand out. Now, what you want to do is you want to have a name that highlights possibly some of the features of your listing. Okay, so for example, is it close to the airport? You can actually include this in the description if you'd like, but the name of the listing and the description of the listing is very, very important. Okay, so for example, if your listing has a pool, right? Or if it has a patio, or a fireplace or something, just something special, unique, that makes your listing unique, you wanna try to find a way to incorporate that in the title of the listing, okay? That's gonna wanna make people choose your listing because of those unique features that you have, okay? So if you have a patio, if you have a grill, whatever, don't be afraid to include that in the listing. If you have a renovated property, if the property make you feel like, if you think you feel like, or will make your guests feel like they're on vacation, even if it's not in really like a vacation spot, include that in your listing, okay? You want to sell your listing, okay? Sell it. All right, it's your listing. You want people to stop their scroll. You want people to click on your listing, and you want to get bookings. So sell your listing. Also, for example, in the description, if you are close to, let's say, the airport, okay, if you're centrally located or something, if you're close to a whole bunch of restaurants, if you're close to the American Airlines Center, a location where games happen a lot or whatever, sell that in your description, okay? You guys, don't be afraid to sell that. You have to sell that. People want to know why they need to choose your listing over the other listing, okay? So you want to sell it as best as possible. Obviously, you want to be natural, but you still want to sell your listing. Yeah, if you have not done those three things, if you don't seem like you're getting a lot of bookings and all of that, try those three things, okay? Get your pricing right. Get your pricing right, and I guarantee that you'll start seeing more bookings, okay? The second thing that you want to do, get a professional photographer, okay? You need your listing to stand out. Get a real estate professional photographer, all right? And then the third thing that you want to do is that you want to come up with a great name for your listing, a unique name for your listing. And the description, don't forget to sell the area. Okay, what is around? Are you close to the metro station, transit station? You know, some people may be traveling without a vehicle or may not be renting a car. You know, sell that. You know, is the bus stop in front of your listing? Are you walking distance from restaurants, from popular restaurants, stuff like that? Don't forget the airports, even if it's like a Walmart, Target, stuff like that. Whatever it is that you can include in your description, include it. It's kind of like getting people familiar, giving people an idea of the area, you know, before they stay. The more things that you have around is the more likely you're gonna get more bookings. Okay, so that's all I have for you guys today. Those are 3 ways that you can maximize on your bookings today. Okay, so if you have not done that just yet, go ahead and do that. Also, if you don't yet have a listing but you plan on doing this type of business, make sure that you went ahead and you wrote those things down. Okay, thank me later. All right, but if you liked this video, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to give this video a thumbs up. Okay, and also don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell as well. That way, whenever I post a new video, you guys will be the first to know. And like I said, I'll be sharing lots more content like this, just different tips and tricks and all of that to know in regards to this business, how you can grow your business. All right, but anyway, it's your girl Shy-Bivia. It was an absolute pleasure. Let's grow those businesses together, and I'll see you guys later. Be blessed. Bye-bye.